Hey there, Steven here from Crystal Tractor and Equipment, and what I've got with me here today is actually one of my favorite Kubota tractors. What I have here is the LX2610 and 2610SU. And now I want to go over what makes these some of the greatest compact tractor options out there, as well as dive in a little bit into the mystery of the SU model, and we'll find out what's the difference between those two. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now, even though I only have these two tractors pulled out at the moment, we can actually use these as a reference to the entire LX10 series, because you're going to get three tractors there, being the LX2610SU, the LX2610, and the LX3310. The only difference between the 2610 and the 3310 is going to be the 31 horsepower you get with the 3310, and that engine, since it's larger, will be running a DPF, and the 2610 is going to give you about 25 horsepower with no DPF. Otherwise, those two tractors are largely the same, aside from about an extra 150 pounds due to the difference in the engine weight. Now, when it comes to the LX2610 and the 2610SU, or special utility model, we'll find just four key differences. Now, you can see the two tractors I have pulled out here. My LX2610SU is equipped with R4 industrial tires, whereas my 2610 is equipped with turf tires. And this is important because the first key difference between these two tractors is that the LX2610SU is not equipped with a mid-PTO mount option. So what that means is that the standard 2610 can be turned into the ultimate lawn tractor with up to a 60 or 72-inch mid-mount mower deck that you won't be able to run on the SU model. Now, for most users, that probably won't be much of an issue because in the rear, we'll find the same setup on both of them. So we're going to have a Cat 1 3-point hitch system here with the telescopic stabilizers, so you can pull a pin and easily adjust your sway bars here to fit your implements and center up the way you need it. And we'll find a 20 horsepower PTO output here on the 2610 models and 27 horsepower on the 3310. So you'll have plenty of power to run up to 5-foot cutters on this, regardless of whether or not you go with the mid-mount mower option. Now, coming back to those tire options, we'll find there are 4 different tread patterns available for the LX10 series. So we'll have R1 or Ag tires available, as well as turf tires, as well as the R4 industrial tires that you see here, or Kubota's awesome hybrid tire, the R14. Now, coupled with the 3-range hydrostatic drive transmission that we have here, you're going to get a top speed of 11 miles per hour in forward or 8.5 miles per hour in reverse. And since we're talking about the hydrostatic transmission, that brings us to our second key difference between these two models. Now, if you're not familiar with a hydrostatic drive, it's very simple and it eliminates the need for shifting gears. You simply push forward on the pedal to travel forward and you push backward on the pedal to travel in reverse. But this means that if you're going out and you're, say, mowing or pulling a box blade or something, or you're going down a long path where you have to maintain your speed, you can't just put it in gear and let it do its thing. You have to hold the pedal at the speed that you want. Now, the 2610 actually features over here a hydrostatic cruise control lock. So you can set your speed and lock the lever in place so that you don't have to keep your foot on the pedal and the tractor will do the work for you. However, the SU model does not have this hydrostatic cruise control. Now, as we're moving up into the operator station, we can actually take a look at the other two differences between these models. Now, we can see the SU version here does have a nice comfortable seat with an actual spring suspension as well for some added support, whereas the 2610 is going to have the upgraded seat with the high back and the folding armrests. Now, what's more is here on the 2610 version, I do have a small pedal at the bottom I can push to allow me to access the tilt steering options, whereas on the SU version, I'm not going to have that option. Now, aside from those 4 unique differences between the two models, we'll find that everything else about them is going to be the same. So here on the left side, we'll have our range selector for our hydrostatic drive. You'll have a low, medium, and high range available depending on whether you need more speed, greater torque, or a nice blend of both. Here also, we'll find our selection for our PTO options. So on the 2610 model, you'll be able to choose between rear PTO, mid PTO, or both at the same time. And you just won't have that lever on the SU model. And then here, our third lever will be our actual PTO engagement, depending on where we're selected. Here on the right side, we'll find position control for our 3-point linkage, and we'll also find our 4-wheel drive selection lever because all of the LX10 models are going to come with 4-wheel drive standard. Now here on the front, we'll also find our LCD gauge cluster, which is going to show us at a glance our fuel level, engine temperature, our engine RPM, as well as we can choose between our rear PTO RPM and our mid PTO RPM. And then of course, we'll find our headlights and turn signals. And on the right side, we'll have our throttle control with a nice convenient lever to allow us greater precision. And we'll find our parked PTO button over here as well, which will allow us to run the PTO without having to be seated in the tractor. Now the last control we'll find here in our operator station is going to be for our multifunction loader joystick, which is going to allow us to use our raise and curl functions at the same time for greater versatility on the loader. Now speaking of the loader, we'll find that it's pretty versatile on its own as well because it's already equipped with skid steer quick connect or 2-lever quick coupler standard. You don't have to pay anything extra for that. You'll also find that you're going to get a maximum lift height of 7 feet and a maximum carrying capacity of 1,067 pounds at that 7 feet. Now this loader is also compatible with an additional hydraulic self-leveling kit, which will allow you to raise and lower your boom while keeping your bucket level automatically, as well as Kubota's Swift Attach system, which is going to allow you to disassemble your loader from your tractor in under a minute with no one other but yourself. So I hope you found our video helpful. Hopefully we answered any questions you might have had about the LX10 series or the mysteries of the SU version. If you could, just leave a like on the video if you found the video helpful. We'd really appreciate it. And if you'd like to come down and see any of these tractors in person, feel free to visit us at crystaltractor.com to see our available inventory at any of our locations. And you can also book an appointment to come down anytime. Thanks for checking out our video.